war stories from her father, who fought in World War II. So she took a trip to learn more about him, and as Dennis Owens reports, she learned he was a hero overseas.
I love to travel.
Roseanne Shipp made a special journey to Belgium and back in time, following in her father's footsteps.
Paul Robert Lehman, he was in 101st Airborne, Screaming Eagles, the 506. He was a bazooka gunner.
The bloody Battle of the Bulge, January 1945, dead of night, in a small town 6 miles from Bastogne, named Foix. Lehman and his bazooka should have been no match for a German tank.
And he said when he fired, the tank fired. And he said it hit some of the stones above him. He said it knocked him back a little bit, but he got up and he said he fired again. He said, I don't know where it hit that tank, but he said there was no movement in that tank. The tank was done.
Paul Lehman wasn't. He soldiered on until passing in 2015, and last year, Roseanne scratched from her bucket list retracing her father's wartime journey. But she needed a tour guide.
I contacted the lady at the B&B where we're going to stay, and I said, do you know any guides in the area that take people around? She gave me a list of about 9. I just randomly picked out one. Couldn't have done better. This fellow contacted me, and he says, since you're following your father's footsteps, I'm going to give you and your friend this tour for free.
It was a tour and a whole lot more from Marcelin Distorder.
This was Paul Van Deel, and he drove us around in a Willys Jeep the whole day. It poured down rain, and we didn't care. We were having a good time.
And at the church, where Paul and his bazooka bested that German tank, her Belgian hosts gave Roseanne an unusual keepsake.
And this is where he presented me with a piece of the tank.
Cut up for scrap 75 years ago, pieces of that tank still exist. For Roseanne, it's an important piece of her father's history, and it now has an important place in her home.
I couldn't believe the effort he put into it for a total stranger. You know, that's how much they love Americans to this day. The whole day was about my father's experience and me. It was just unbelievable.
What a story. Now, Roseanne made a second trip to Belgium during the 75th anniversary of the Battle of the Bulge, and at that time, she brought another piece of that tank home with her. Tonight's military hero is Freddie L. Barnes, who was in the